Hello, welcome to today's lesson. Previously, we looked at the introduction to equations, and with introductions to equations, we had two definitions that we dealt with. We said that we have what is known as an expression, and with an expression, you are having a collection of numbers or pronumerals that have been written. So we can take an example of an expression to be 2x plus 5. That can be an expression. We can have 3 plus 2. That is an expression. So when you're having a collection of numbers or pronumerals that have been made, then whatever we are having is an expression. An equation is when we have an equal sign. We are having two expressions and an equal sign that is showing that the two expressions are of equal value. For instance, if I'm having 2x plus 5 is equal to 3, then this is an equation where I'm having a pronumeral on the left-hand side and I have another one on the right-hand side, which are indicating that the two expressions, the expression on the left-hand side and the expression on the right-hand side, are of the same value. So when we are having two expressions being indicated to show that they are of the same value, then that expression, that equation, that is an equation because we are connecting them with an equal sign. So when we are connecting with an equal sign, two expressions being connected with an equal sign to show that they are of the same value, then we say what we have is an equation. So now we need to solve these equations that we have by inspection method. What do we mean by solution? When we are solving an equation, then what it means is we are finding the values of the unknowns. So when you are having unknowns in a given equation and you need to get the values of those unknowns, then in that case we are solving. We are dealing with inspection method of solving the equations. We have various ways of solving equations, but today specifically we are going to look at the inspection method. What do we mean by inspection method? With inspection method, we are trying to get the figure just from our knowledge. We are trying to use some trial and error method so as to find out what is the missing digit or what is the value of the given pronumeral that we have. So we want to go ahead and solve the given equations that we have using the inspection method. Let us look at an example so that we can understand what we mean by solution of these equations using the inspection method. We have the question, and our question is, we find the missing digit. We are finding the missing value by filling in this box so that our equation is true. So what is the value that is making our equation true? We need to find out. We have a value. When we add 3 to this given digit, we are going to get 8. So from our addition algorithm, we need to ask ourselves, which value do I need to add on it 3 for me to get the value of 8? And we all know that if I have the digit 5 plus 3, it will give us 8. So it means that my missing digit in this case is 5. So we are having 5 plus 3 will give us 8. The next example we have a digit. When I subtract this digit from 10, I'm supposed to get the value of 5. So we need to ask ourselves, which is this value? Which is this digit that when I subtract the digit from 10, I'm going to get the value of 5? And the answer is 5. 10 minus 5 gives us 5. So we have 10 minus 5 will give us 5. Another question is, we have 13 is equal to a digit. We have a digit, a missing digit, plus 3. So we need to find what is this missing digit, that when I add 3 to the missing digit, I'm going to get the value of 13. So the question is, what is this digit that I need to make my value 13? So I have 3 plus 10. So if we add 10 to 3, it is going to give us 13. So it means the missing value in this case is 10. So we are using our inspection method and finding that if I have this digit 10, I add 3 to 10, then I'll get 13. So the digit that is missing to make my equation true, then it is 10. Remember, when we are dealing with the introduction to equations, we said that as long as there is an equal sign, then the sum qualifies to be called an equation. And there are some situations whereby you might meet as an equation that is not true. You might meet a false equation, that there is an equal sign, yes, but the equation is not true. But in this case, we are looking for what is that value, that when I add it to this given figure, I'm supposed to make my statement true. And the value that we are looking at in this case is 10. So we are having a collection of two numbers. My left hand side has 15 plus 6. My right hand side has a missing digit plus 1. We need to find out what is the missing digit. So the expression on the left should be equal to the expression on the right hand side for my equation to be true. So this means that 15 plus 6, if I try and simplify my left hand side, 15 plus 6 is going to give us 21. Then on my right hand side, I need a figure that I should add on that figure 1 for me to get 21. So the figure that I'm looking for, so that it can make my right hand side to be equal to 21, then it is 20. So 20 plus 1 will give us 21. So going back to the equation, then it means that 15 plus 6 will be equal to 20 plus 1. So if I have 15 plus 6, 15 plus 6 is 21. and 20 plus 1 is also 21. So it means my statement is true. So a collection of numbers on the left hand side, we need to find the correct digit that is missing on the right hand side to make our equation true, such that my left hand side and my right hand side are of the same value. So this means that the digit that is missing in this case is 20. We are having a digit. When I multiply this digit by 2, I should get 12. So from our multiplication algorithm, we know that 2 times 6 is equal to 12. So that means that the missing digit in this case is 6. So that if I have 2, I multiply it by 6, then I will get the value of 12. So this makes my left hand side to be equal to my right hand side, and hence our equation is now true. So we are supposed to solve the equations that we have by inspection method. So we have the first equation, that is 4 plus x is equal to 12. In this case, let us identify what our pronumeral is, and we discover that in this equation, the pronumeral is x, and after identifying the pronumeral, then it means that we can be able to solve what this pronumeral is. The pronumeral are simply the unknown in a given equation. So what is unknown in our equation is x. So we need to get the value of x by inspection. So by inspection, we need to ask ourselves, we are having 4 plus x is equal to 12. My right hand side is equal to 12. So we need to ask ourselves, what is this digit? That when I add 4 to the digit, I will get the value of 12. And we get that the digit that is added to 4 so that we get 12 is 8. So it means that our value for x is equal to 8. We can prove it and find out 4 plus 8. What is 4 plus 8? 4 plus 8 is simply 12. So this means that it is true that the value of x in this case is 8. We are having the second equation, 50 minus c is equal to 3. So what is our pronumeral in this equation? Our pronumeral is c. So after identifying our pronumeral, we are saying that our pronumeral is simply the unknown value, and our known value in this case is c. So we need to find out what is the value of c in this given equation by inspection method. So this is what we are asking ourselves. There is a digit that when I subtract this digit from 50, I'm going to get the value of 3. So what is this digit that is required for me to subtract it from 50 for me to get the value of 3? And we get that 50 minus 47 will give us 3. So that means that the value of c is 47. With the reason that we are saying 50, if I have 50 minus 47, I'm going to get the value of 3. So that means that this digit that I'm subtracting from 50 is what I'm looking for. So I'm looking for the value of c, and the value of c will be 47. So it simply concludes that c is equal to 47. Next, we are having 8 times y is equal to 64. So in this case, what is our pronumeral? Our pronumeral, the unknown value in this situation is y. So we need to get the value of y by inspection method, and we are asking ourselves, what is this value, or what is this digit that I need to multiply by 8 for me to get the value of 64? And we get that from our multiplication algorithm. 8 times 8 is equal to 64. So that means that the value of y will be 8. With the reason that we are saying 8 times 8 is equal to 64. So since 8 times 8 is equal to 64, it means that I'm looking for this digit. So that makes it that the value of y will be equal to 8. The next example we have is a minus 2 is equal to 4. We need to get the value of our pronumeral in this case, and the pronumeral we have is, our pronumeral in this equation is a. So we need to find out what is that digit that I need to subtract 2 from it for me to get the value of 4. And we get that if I have 6 minus 2, I will get the value of 4. So what does this mean? The digit that I'm subtracting 2 from it for me to get the value of 4 is 6. So that concludes and says that the value of a in this equation will be 6. So we are having 3p plus 2 is equal to 14 as the equation that we need to solve. So in this case, our pronumeral is p. After identifying the pronumeral, then it means we need to get the value of that given pronumeral. So we find out, I'm having a digit. When I multiply this digit by 3, Then I add the digit, I add 2 to the digit, I'm going to get the value of 14. So what does this mean? That I'm having this number. When I multiply the number by p, I should get a value that is less than 14 by 2. So a digit that is less than 14 by 2, then it is 12. So this means that I'm having a number. When I multiply that number by p, I'm getting the value of 12. So what is this digit? That when I multiply this digit by 3, I'm going to get 12. And we get that the digit is 4. So our value for p is 4. Just to confirm if whatever we are having is right, or if what we have will make our statement or our equation correct, then we are having 3 times 4 plus 2 is equal to 14. 3 times 4 is 12 plus 2 is equal to 14. So 12 plus 2 will give us 14, and 14 on the left hand side and on the right hand side will be equal. So it means that our value for p will be 4. Next we have x squared is equal to 100. So first the powers, when we are dealing with powers, it simply means that the squared simply means the x is repeated twice. We are having repeated multiplication of x twice. So x squared simply means that I have x times x. X times x should give me 100. So what is this number? That when I multiply itself twice, I repeatedly multiply the number itself twice, I will get 100. So the number we are having, if I have 10 times 10, I will get 100. So this means that the value of x in this given equation will be 10, because 10 squared is 100. So that means that the value of x is 100. Next we are having 3x plus 1 divided by 2 is equal to 8. Our pronumeral in this case is x. So after identifying the pronumeral, we need to get by inspection the value of our pronumeral, and we find that there is a number. This is a combined number, that is 3x plus 1. If I divide this number by 2, I'm going to get 8 as the value. So what does it mean? This digit here, 3x plus 1, is a digit whereby when I divide this digit by 2, I will get 8. And we know that the digit that is divided by 2 to get 8 is 16. So 16 is the digit that when I divide 16 by 2, I will get 8. So 3x plus 2 is 16. But in this case, I've not yet found the value of our unknown. So that means I need to ask myself, what is this digit again? That when I multiply the digit by 3, then add 1 to the digit, I will get 16. And we get that the digit that is multiplied by 3, for us to get a digit that we will add on 1 for us to get 16, it means that the number that I'll have to add 1 to it for me to get 16, then it is 15. So this 3x should be equal to 15. But I've not yet found the value of x. So this means that I need to get the value of x. There is a number when I multiply by 3, I'm supposed to get 15. So what is this number? That when I multiply the number by 3, I will get 15. So the number that is multiplied by 3 for us to get 15 is 5. So that means that our value for x in this given equation is 5. Just to confirm our equation, if it is right or wrong. So what we do is we are having 3x plus 1. 3x plus 1 means that our value for x is 5. So I'll have 3 times 5 plus 1, then divided by 2. We need to find out if it will give us 8. 3 times 5 is 15 plus 1 divided by 2. 15 plus 1 is 16. Divide by 2. Let us see if we have 8. 16 divided by 2 will simply give us 8. So that means that the left-hand side and the right-hand side are of the same value. Being the fact that right-hand side and left-hand side are of the same value, then we conclude and say that it is true. Our value for x is 5. So we are having 2 times x. In brackets we have x, 2 times in brackets we have x plus 3, then plus 4 should give us 12. So looking at this, we need to find out, there is a digit. When we multiply this given digit, the digit that we have here is made up of x plus 3. So if I have x plus 3 times 2, when we multiply x times 3 by 2, then add 4 to whatever result we have here, we are supposed to get 12. So it means that the digit that is being represented here is less than 12 by 4. So a digit that is less than 12 by 4 is 8. So that digit then it means that is being represented by 2 times the brackets of x plus 3 to give us 8. So what is this digit that is giving us 8? The digit is the 8, we are obtaining it by having 2 times x plus 3 that is in brackets. So this means that this x plus 3 is a digit that when this digit is multiplied by 2, it will give us 4. So there is a digit that is made up of the combination of x plus 3. So this digit, if I multiply the digit by 2, I will get 8. And we get that the digit that is multiplied by 2 for us to get 8 is 4. So this means that x plus 3 is represented by the digit 4. So x plus 3 is equal to 4. But I need to get the value of x because x is my unknown digit. So being the fact that I need to get the value of x, then I need to ask myself this. What is this digit? When I add 3 to the digit, I will get the value of 4. The digit that is added to 3 to get 4 is 1. So that means that our x is equal to 1. So the value of x in this given equation is 1. We need to confirm if our value of x is really 1. So let us find out what is our value. If the x is equal to 1, if it will make our equation true. So we have 2 times x plus 3 plus 4 will be equal to 12. Then my x is 1. So where I have x, I'm substituting it with 1 so that I have 2 times 1 plus 3 plus 4 will be equal to 12. We solve whatever is in the brackets first. So we have 1 plus 3 is 4 times 2 plus 4 is equal to 12. The next operation that we deal with is multiplication. So we have 2 times 4, which is 8 plus 4. Let us find out. 4 plus 8, or 8 plus 4 is 12. So this means that my left-hand side and my right-hand side are equal. And since the left-hand side and right-hand side are equal, then it is true that our value for x is equal to 1. So there are situations whereby you will have multiple variables that you need to find the values of their pronumerals. When you have multiple variables and you need to solve the values of the unknown using the inspection method, then the following is required of us. The first example we have x plus y is equal to 8. So we need to get a pair, one pair for x and y, that will make our statement true. What does it mean? In this case, we are having addition. So we need to find out which two numbers will I have to add for me to get the value of 8. It doesn't mean that the numbers will be similar to mine. You can have as many numbers as possible. So the first thing we ask ourselves, we can have any of the numbers. We can start with, let's say, 2. If I have 2, what number do I need to add to 2 for me to get the value of 8? So this means that if I have 2 plus 6, then I will get the value of 8. So what does this mean? That my value for x in this case is 2. My value for y in that case, it is 6. So that is just one case whereby I'm having multiple variables and I want to use inspection method for me to solve the given equation. So we find the numbers that when we add, we are going to get the value on the right hand side. And the numbers in this case, if our x is 2 and our y is 6, if I have 2 plus 6, then we are going to get the value of 8. So the pair of numbers that is required in this case is when x is 2, the value for y will be 6. That is not the only value. We are saying that you can have as many values as possible. Another value could be, supposing someone takes our value for x to be 4. The other value for y, or the other number that is required to make our equation true, then our value for y will also be 4, such that when I have 4 plus 4, 4 plus 4 is equal to 8. So this means that a pair of number that is required also to make our equation true, then we have 4 plus 4. When x is 4, the value for y should also be 4, so that our equation is true. Another sample of numbers could be when x is 5 and y is 3. So x is 5, y is 3. If I have 5 plus 3, then we are going to get 8, because 5 plus 3 is equal to 8. So a pair of number that is required to make our statement true is when x is 5, then the value for y is equal to 3. So by inspection method, when you're having multiple variables, then it means you can have a variety of answers to the given equation depending with your preference. Because in this case, we have so many answers. I've just listed but 3 pairs in this given board. But we can have as many pairs of numbers as possible that will make our statement true. Another example that we have x times y is equal to 6. We need to get a pair of numbers that will make our statement true. We said that by inspection method, it means that you can have as many pairs of numbers as possible as long as they will make the statement to be true. So in this case, we need to find out which are these two numbers. When I multiply the two numbers, I'm going to get the value of 6. So in multiplication, we can look at what are the multiples that are making up 6. The factors that are making up 6, I mean. So if we get the factors that are making up 6, then it is possible to come up with as many pairs as possible. So factors making up 6, we are having 2 into 6, that is 3. Then 3 into 6, we have 1. So the factors we have that are representing 6 is made up, we have the factors 1, 2, 3, the multiples we are having, the factors that are for 6, we have 2, 1, 2, 3, and 6 as the numbers that we can combine and make our multiplication complete. So looking at those numbers, we can come up with pairs that will bring about the multiplication to be true. For instance, if I combine 1 and 6 so that I have 1 times 6, I'm going to get the value of 6. So this means that my value for x in that case will be 1, my value for y will be 6. Or the other way around, if I have 6 times 1, I'm going to get the value of 6. So that the value of x in that case is 6, the value for y is 1. So that is a pair of numbers that we've come up with that are going to give us a value of 6 when they are multiplied. Alternatively, we can use the other numbers, that is 2 and 3. So we are having 2 and 3 as the factors of 6. So we can have 2 times 3. 2 times 3 is equal to 6. So if in this case our value for x can be 2, our value for y can be 3. Or the other way around is also accepted, so that our value for x is 3 when our value for y is 2. So if you are having this pair of numbers, then we multiply the two given numbers, then it means that we are going to get the value of 6 as required in the question. So by inspection method, the pairs of numbers that are required to make this equation true is when x is 2, our value for y should be 3. Or when x is 3, our value for y then should be 2. Or alternatively, our value for x should be 1 when our value for y is 6. Or our value for x should be 6 when our value for y is 1. So those are the solutions in that given case. Alternatively, it doesn't mean that you can deal with positive integers only. We can also deal with negative integers, so that you're having two pairs of negative integers, because when you multiply a negative number by a negative number, we'll get a positive number. So we can make our numbers negative integers, then we multiply and get the value of 6. So we are having 3 is equal to 2x plus y as an equation that we need to find the values of x and y by inspection method. So the question we need to ask ourselves, there is a number, when I multiply that number by 2, then I add on another digit, I will get the value of 3. So what is this number? We need to find out. We need to try different digits out and find out which are these digits that will qualify, or which are these digits that will make our equation to be true. And in this case, we can try out when x is 1. When our value for x is 1, let us find out what do we need. So this means that we can have 2 times 1. 2 times 1 is 2. So that means for me to make this digit 3, I need to add on it 1. So what does that mean? If my value for x is 1, then my value for y should also be 1 to make the statement true. So that I have 2 times 1 plus 1 is equal to 3, where 2 times 1 will give me 2 plus 1 will be equal to 3. So when x is 1, the value for y should also be 1. That is just one of the pairs of numbers that is required. For your own benefit, you can try out some other pairs of numbers and find out which numbers can fit in. So we can try these. Let us find out. Supposing that I have the value of x as, let's say, 3. If my x is 3, which number is supposed to be the value of y, or which digit is supposed to be the value of y for our equation to be true? So if x is 3, then it will mean that I have 2 times 3. 2 times 3 is 6. So what digit do I need to add on these 3, I mean on 6, for me to get the value of 3? And we get that the digit that is required to add on 6 for us to get the value of 3 is negative 3. So that means that another pair could be when x is 3, our value for y is negative 3, and so on. So we can try out inspection method. Inspection, we said that we are trying out various figures. We are trying to find out using different figures so that we reach a conclusion that is true to whatever we are calculating. So we try out as many pairs as possible so that you find out which other pairs could suit the equation that we have. So we have another equation that 12 is equal to 2 plus x plus y. We need to get the values of x and y that will make our equation true. So this means that we are having a figure when two digits that are going to represent the values of x and the value of y, so that the pair of digits that we have, when we add 2 to the digit, we are supposed to get 12. So this means that the combination of x plus y, a digit that requires 2 to be added on it for us to get 12, is 10. So combination of x plus y is equal to 10. So we need to find out which are these two digits. When I add the two digits, I will get 10. So get a pair of digits that when we add, we are going to get 10. We can start with the most obvious one. We have 5 plus 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. So it means that when x is 5, our value for y is also 5. Or we can have another pair of 6 plus 4 is equal to 10. So that means that when the value of x is 6, our value for y should be 4, and so on. So you can try out as many pairs of numbers as possible. They will be accepted as long as they make our equation to be true. So inspection method with multiple variables could bring about some answers, so many answers, depending with the taste and preference of a given person. Which numbers do you prefer? Which digits do you prefer to use? As long as the digits will be suitable to the equation, as long as the digits will make the equation to be true, then the digits will be acceptable. So at times you can be given a situation and you need to form equations from that given situation. Then from there you need to solve by inspection method the given equation that you have or the situation that we have. For instance, we are having this situation. We have the following situation, that a number is doubled and the result is 22. So we need to double the number. So what does this mean? That we are having our number doubled. By doubling the number, it means that we are having our number multiplied by 2. So if supposing we say that our number is, so let the number be, let's say y. So if our number is y, then our number is doubled. It means that I have 2 times y. The result is 22. So our result is 22. So 2 times y is equal to 22. We need to find what is the value of y. So from this given situation, which number do we multiply by 2 to get 22? And we get that the number that is multiplied by 2 to get 22 is 11. So the number that is doubled and the result is 22 is simply 11. Another situation we have is that a number is divided by 10 a number is divided by 10 and the result is 3. So we need to find out what is this number that is divided by 10 to give us the value of 3. So let our number be so if our number is x, then x divided by 10 is equal to 3. So we need to ask ourselves, what is this number? When I divide the number by 10, we are going to get the value of 3. And we get that the number that is divided by 10 to give us 3 is 30. So it means that our value for x is equal to 30. By inspection method, the number that is required is 30. Another situation we have is 7 more than the number is 40. So 7 more than the number is 40. What does this mean? More, it means that the number, when we add 7 to the number, we are going to get the value of 40. So if our number is so this means that if I have P plus 7, I should get the value of 40. So what is this number that requires 7 more for it to make the digit to be 40? And we get that 33 plus 7. 33 plus 7 is equal to 40. So it means the value of our known, which is P, is equal to 33. So that means that the number that we are looking for is 33. So we are having Karim's weight is W and his brother is twice as heavy, weighing 70. So we need to write an equation to represent the situation. So if the weight of Karim is W, the weight of the brother is twice. What does that mean? We have the weight of Karim multiplied by 2. So this means that if Karim's weight is W, we multiply the W by 2, we are going to get the weight of the brother, and the weight of the brother is 70. So we are having W times 2 will be equal to 70. So if I simplify this, then it means that I have 2W is equal to 70. So that is the equation. Part A, we were required to write an equation that is representing the given situation. We are saying that Karim's weight is W, the brother is twice. So twice means we multiply whatever weight we have by 2. And the weight of the brother is 70. So it means that W times 2 will be equal to 70, and our equation will be 2W is 70. The part B, we are required to solve the equation. 2w is equal to 70. So solving the equation, we need to find out, we are solving by inspection method, what is this number that when I multiply the number by 2, I'm going to get the value of 70. And we get that 2 times 35 is equal to 70. So it simply means that our value for w is 35, because when I multiply 35 by 2, I'm going to get 70. So that means that the value for w in that given situation is 70. We are simply saying this inspection method is workable or is applicable where you are having simpler calculations to be done. But when you are having some complicated calculation, then you try and use inspection method, then it will make your work very much tedious. But when you are having simpler calculations, it is good for you to apply the inspection method. Thank you for listening.